One of the greatest women's promos ever with the big three.
You ungrateful!
And the most violent match we've ever seen in mainstream women's wrestling, the Hollywood ending. IYO SKY shows who the champ is, and is Mercedes Monè okay after all that crazy kicks? Welcome everyone to Ring the Belle, this is DS and this is your Women's Wrestling Weekly. And guys, what a week for women's wrestling fans, from having one of the best women's segments ever seen on TV to the most brutal match in the history of mainstream women's wrestling. This is a crazy week, so let's dig right into SmackDown. Okay, so I'm just gonna start right off with the big three segment because this was cinema, this was piece of art, this was a moment to be remembered forever for women's wrestling fans. Bianca Belair comes out to call out Naomi to question if she indeed attacked Jade Cargill following the whole situation, Elimination Chamber, and Naomi comes out rocking this bedazzled neck brace she's been wearing since the Queen of the Ring premiere. I love when she rocks these injury accessories, from the eye patch to now these neck brace, and she's like, no Bianca, don't focus on that, it's not important, let's focus on getting back our tag titles, your big WrestleMania match. And when pressed more, she says she doesn't give a damn about Jade because Jade was just riding on Bianca's coattail, while her, Naomi, was pushed to the side to fend for herself. And especially with some of the backstage rumors circulating right this week about how Jade Cargill is having some real life heat with other women backstage, this whole promo just hits a little different. And after Bianca calls Naomi with her government name, Trin, stop, Naomi finally admits that she indeed attacked Jade.
I did it!
And you can see that the audience was so hooked. And Bianca leaves Naomi in the ring saying that they are done, with Naomi crying, screaming at Bianca that she loves her, she did all of this for her, and she finally breaks down, calling Bianca an ungrateful. And again, this audience was just so perfect, they're so messy, and they were just so here for it. A lot of the people, you could see they were so gooped and gagged. And this was cinema. Jade's car arriving behind Bianca on the screen, and she walks out from the backstage to Gorilla, and after exchanging looks with Bianca, she goes in to destroy Naomi yet again, and Naomi screams Bianca's name, getting jaded. Guys, I don't even think the way I described it does any justice. Like, this was just perfection. Go watch it if you haven't. I was like tearing up watching this promo for so many reasons. I'm like, why am I being so emotional? There are so many layers to this promo. Like, their emotions, both Bianca and Naomi, felt so genuine because you can tell that Naomi and Bianca really enjoyed their time together, and this was really the end of their partnership. Like, that was probably really sad for both of them. And when Naomi choked up talking about being pushed aside while Jade Cargill became the center of WWE spotlight, even though she herself just returned after the successful TNA Knockouts Championship run, and how the crowd continues to turn against her when she stands up for herself, like when she walked out of WWE. That was a whole thing. There was some genuine anger and sorrow into what she was saying, and emotional chemistry between her and Bianca, making this promo so natural yet powerful. Also, this was just so special because a long-time Naomi fan like me, this promo just proves everything I knew in Naomi for the last 15 years. We all remember her blowing our mind with her NXT rookie match against AJ Lee that had Michael Cole break his character gagging over the match. That was back in 2010, and we also remember her killing it with her heel turn in Slayomi gimmick, but she just couldn't win titles because of AJ and Nikki's long reign that was happening at the time. Finally, WWE gave her a storyline and screen time to show what she's got, and she absolutely freaking nailed it. She created this moment, a promo that honestly is probably the best acted, most emotionally charged segment in history of women's wrestling. I'm pretty set on that. Bianca was equally incredible. Give her a movie deal like right now, because she just felt so genuine in this. And you can understand too why she was so heartbroken. And also the fashion, like they were all rocking black, while Jade was wearing this like all white bodysuit with like bloodstain crystal details, and that's the inverse color from the whole chamber match. So again, like really well thought. This is such a special moment here. I can't wait to see where this goes. Again, Naomi can fight back. Like, we saw what she did, throwing fists at Cameron, Paige, all that. She's gonna come back with some fight. I think it's gonna be a really good opportunity for us to have a non-title singles feud and Mania. And some people even suggested that Naomi should bring up the Meta Girls with her as kind of a reinforcement, kind of a new Team Bad situation. That could be cool too. I am on board anywhere this goes. I am so proud of all the women involved here, just so incredible. Then we got WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton versus Piper Niven match. This was set up when Chelsea Green interrupts Tiffany Stratton backstage when she was talking to GM Nick Aldis, and we see Tiffany pick up a win with prettiest moonsault ever. This match was fine.
It's
it's fine.
It was really just to give the champion something to do on the show, but more so for Piper being a beat-up mess for the next match, which was really, really funny, and I really like that. But after this match, Charlotte Flair ambushes Tiffany and puts her in figure 8 in her shark boots, mind you, which was really, really wild. And backstage, we see Charlotte Flair invite the rookie B-Fab for a match next week on SmackDown, so that's going to be her singles return. I mean, let's be honest, Tiffany versus Charlotte build has been so weak. I mean, granted that we had to have a little bit of a detour because of the whole Trish Stratus tag team match at Elimination Chamber, so I feel like this week really should have been that week for them to like jumpstart this, but maybe they wanted the big three to take the spotlight this week, which is understandable. Tiffany versus Charlotte really has the potential to be the clash of the century. It really writes itself, but I do not want that to be the reason for the creative to be lazy, because it writes itself. Tiffany's babyface character, by the way, is inevitable, but should be treated with a bit more care, because she didn't get so loved by the crowd just because of her in-ring ability. It was her brat personality that connected with the crowd so much, so she will really need to bring that back a little bit. She'll need to bring the fight with Charlotte. So hopefully we'll get more of that. Then we got Chelsea Green versus Michin for the Women's US Championship match in a street fight. This is like Michin's 4th attempt at the title, which is a bit much, but Chelsea and Michin in a street fight match, I am totally in. And Chelsea's entrance here was so iconic because she's here as the Chick Foley Cactus Jack, and her secret Hervis, Piper, is in shambles after losing to Tiffany. She's like not physically doing okay. And the match was fun. I love Michin's wild side licking, biting Chelsea's finger. The fire extinguisher spot was really cool, and the long back attack with the cannonball into the trash can. Chelsea also brought the fight with that missile drop kick into the trash can all the way from one corner to another. That was beautiful. And the tug of war with the rope, that whole sequence was also very, very fun. And when Piper attacks Michin outside, B-Fabs runs to take Piper out with the kendo stick. Then Michin sentenced Chelsea through the table to seal the deal, but Alba Fire comes out to save Chelsea from the pin and hits Michin with this incredible Canadian Destroyer onto the chairs and drags Chelsea back into the ring to help her pin Michin to defend the US Championship. And yes, we see Alba doing the salute, showing her allegiance to Chelsea joining the cabinet. Officially, she is a part of Chelsea Green cabinet. Again, the street fight between the two never misses, and this one really got wild with the action. And Alba getting revealed as the newest member of Chelsea's cabinet is, I think it's a great addition, so I absolutely love this. Satisfying. So I don't know if you can tell, but I probably look really tired right now because I just got back from this really short trip to Las Vegas to check the venue that we'll be hosting our Ring the Belle WrestleMania weekend party. I'm calling it DIVAMANIA, and the venue looks so good. Oh my god. I am so excited to reveal more information as it comes, but Friday night, make sure your schedule is free if you're there in Las Vegas for WrestleMania weekend, because we are throwing a huge party for you, women's wrestling fans, diva stans, the gays and girlies of pro wrestling. This is party for you guys. We got so many special guests to announce, drag queens, DJs. It's gonna be an amazing night, so stay tuned for more information to come. I'm literally just waiting for like promotional material to come together so like I can actually start promoting. It's gonna be amazing, guys. Moving to Raw, we had Bayley versus Raquel Rodriguez for the IC Championship #1 contender spot. This kind of came out of nowhere, but I guess Lyra did just go through both Dakota and Ivy. And the result kind of shocked me because the tag champion Raquel Rodriguez defeats Bayley to come for the IC title next. So what happened here? Judgment Day happened, so both Liv and Dom got on the apron to distract Bayley, so Bayley fights back, takes them both out, and she does dive to outside, but Raquel catches her midair, sending her onto the announcer table, and Big Boot Tahana Bomb for the win. Yeah, this seems kind of random, especially with so many tag teams ready to come for the tag titles, hopefully at WrestleMania, so I really don't understand this decision at all. I also wonder, Bayley tweeting "Don't save me for later" means she's being saved for later after WrestleMania, because she's currently don't have anything really going big for WrestleMania, so we shall see. Yeah, this was a fine match for me.
It's fine.
Then the new champion IYO SKY comes out for an in-ring interview with Michael Cole, where she celebrates winning the championship from Rhea last week. She's so happy about it. Then Bianca Belair, the challenger for the WrestleMania match, comes out to celebrate. IYO saying that she's really excited for their WrestleMania match. Then Rhea Ripley comes out and she starts yelling at Bianca, "Why were you out there, Bianca? Why are you messing with my business? Just deal with your own mess, because you got a lot going on with Naomi and Jade." So the two starts arguing, and the champion in the middle is like, wait, this is like my title? But she gets literally pushed aside by both Rhea and Bianca. So pissed off champion goes on to slap both Rhea and Bianca, slapping some senses into both of them, saying that she's the freaking champion here. I mean, I did wish she did it more in like, I'm the boss here, you're challenging for my title energy, but she was giving more like, I don't know, like super kawaii. She was like literally jumping up and down like, I'm the champion. Yeah, like super cute. I mean, I liked it. I was laughing when she slapped both of them because it was just like, and the crowd was also loving it. They were chanting Io's name. I don't know, this registered for me as more of a comedic segment than like, oh, let's take her seriously moment. Yeah, how did you feel about this segment? Also, all three of them right now are like baby faces here, with I guess Rhea leaning a little bit more heelish. She did come across as a sore loser here. So I don't know, I feel like something drastic will need to happen to shift the dynamics a little bit. But yeah, either way, still very juicy match for WrestleMania. Moving to NXT, we got Chelsea Green and Piper Niven versus Zarya and Sol Ruca. Zarya and Sol tag team is here to stay. So I'm just gonna accept it that this is what it is. And honestly, this match was really, really good. Love the power battle between Zarya and Piper. I mean, I think that just works all the time. And ending got so crazy when Sol and Zarya hit this electric chair moonsault to neckbreaker combo of sorts. That was really, really cool. And then Zarya picks up Piper to hit F5 onto Chelsea, and Sol hits Soul Snatcher on the US champion, bleeding and everything, pinning the champion. Yeah, that was a really fun match. I'm satisfied. Yeah, Zarya and Sol are putting on some great tag team action together, so I'm like, I might be able to get into this. Then we got Kalani Jordan versus Jada Parker singles match. This was a heck of a match between the two top stars in NXT. Kalani continues to bring her signature acrobatic moves with the added heel attitudes here. Her Asai moonsault to the outside was so clean, so cool to see. And I love her corner leg drop move, so beautiful. Jada also brought tons of aggression here, dropping Kalani back first on the top rope. And at the end, Kalani hits Spanish Fly on Jada. Then the two crashes to the outside where Jada hits her with hip attack, but misses the second one, crashing into the stairs. But back in the ring, Kalani hits 450 splash, but misses, letting Jada hit hip attack again to defeat Kalani. I still hate this finisher, to be honest, but the match was really good. Kalani continues to be very, very, very strong in the ring, and she continues to innovate and expand her movesets, while also improving a lot on her character side since turning heel, twinner, whatever you call it. And Jada also continues to be popular, and she's improving in the ring too, so great match, satisfied. The NXT Women's Division has a lot of unpredictability right now with the whole abrupt champion versus champion match set up for the following Tuesday, so we will see where Jada and Kalani go from there. And as Cora Jade continues her TNA invasion, she gets a match with the former face of the Knockouts division, Jordynne Grace, after insulting TNA backstage. But unfortunately, this match ends in no contest as Cora Jade suffers a concussion. Yeah, this was kind of an unfortunate circumstances. Hopefully Cora is okay, as she pretty recently returned from action. Now moving to AEW, let's talk some AEW Revolution. We had two women's matches, and I gotta say, this was some wild night for the women. Wow. So starting with the TBS Championship, Mercedes Monè versus Momo Watanabe. Talking about entrances, Mercedes sporting her NXT Sasha Banks wine color hair, and she continues to be the maximalist fashion icon with this very elaborate black and white gear. Now, this is a rematch from last summer's New Japan Capital Collision match, which was an incredible match back then, and this definitely did not disappoint. You know, my favorite thing about Mercedes is that she is one of the few wrestlers that is able to adjust herself to the unique styles of her opponent. Momo here brought some of the hardest strikes I've ever seen in wrestling, and Mercedes was here to take the punishment. I mean, does she need to at this point in her career? Not really, but that's Mercedes, always here for the challenge. The kicks were brutal. Like, brutal, to a point where I'm like, is she just straight up kicking the shit out of Mercedes? Like, is she just gonna like knock her out and win the championship? Like, what is going on here? The kicks were really brutal. Oh my god. And also, it was kind of cute. At one point, Momo was like petting Mercedes on her head, like, oh, kawaii, you're scared. That was cute. That spinning uranage from the second rope was really also cool. And Mercedes also brought the fight back with some wild power bombs. And at the end, Mercedes catches Momo with the moneymaker and transitions it into bank statement, tapping Momo out. You know how I feel about her finisher. Like, I don't love moneymaker, but transitioning that into bank statement was actually like really cool. Yeah, Mercedes really has not been missing in the last several months with her PLE matches. Mind you, wrestling people of all different styles, from Statlander to Harley Cameron and now Momo. It's a really incredible run to witness. I'm very satisfied. And Momo too, she definitely made an impact with this match. She showed the world some next level strong style wrestling, so big props to her too. Also, something to note, Billy Starks was watching this match, taking notes, so interesting to see if we'll be getting her versus Mercedes next, leading to the dream match of Athena versus Mercedes eventually. quickly. And next was the Hollywood-ending Falls Count Anywhere match, Mariah May versus AEW Women's World Champion Toni Storm. And Mariah May, holy shit, she comes out with this wedding dress-inspired outfit looking beautiful and naive and white. And that's where her strength is, because she can like get so nasty, so brutal despite her pretty girl, girly pop aesthetics. And also, she's wearing white. We know that there will be some blood. As soon as Toni Storm walks out, the brawl starts. And right from the start, it goes wild with Mariah pulling out a taser from the bouquet she brought in. And she drop kicks Luther through the table. Then Toni choke slams Mariah into the table off the ramp. Already mind-blowing. Then Mariah storm zeros Toni into the stairs, causing Toni to bleed like a lot. But if this is not enough, they said, let's turn this into a total horror movie, because they started duct taping their hands to put broken glasses around their fist to start fist fighting. I was like, what the freaking hell am I watching? And at this point, I'm just like, I can't even watch this anymore. Like, this is some next level ultra violence that I'm not used to. Toni then sprays broken glasses all around the ring. This is just even worse than thumbtacks. I hate thumbtacks, but this is even worse than thumbtacks. Then Toni cuts open Mariah's forehead with broken glass she's holding. Like some harrowing image here. Then Toni grabs the legendary shoe that Mariah brutally attacked her in that one segment we all remember, which then Mariah starts running off to the stage, but Toni catches her, start whipping her down with the championship strap. They then have a brief face-off with Toni holding the shoe, but the moment of that hesitation again, this happened in All In too. This lets Mariah hit Mayday on Toni, but Toni kicks out, and Toni brutally this time strikes Mariah with the shoe to her head, and she finishes the job with Storm Zero through the Hollywood sign, breaking it, pinning Mariah May, and the end sign shows up in the Titantron, and the camera dissolved to black with a shot of bloodied up Toni Storm hugging passed out Mariah on the floor. Again, this is not usually something I'd be comfortable watching. I can probably say this is probably the most violent match I've ever seen in the mainstream women's wrestling. This was really gory. Oh my god, they really went there with this. With this storyline though, I think it worked. It did, it really worked. It wasn't meaningless violence. Their story really warranted such hatred and brutality, so as much as I'm not a fan of ultra violence in wrestling, this match really worked. And that image of just like Carrie style bloodied of Toni and Mariah hugging at the end was just brutally beautiful ending of one of the greatest women's storylines ever we've seen. Yeah, this week it really is a week to be remembered. Just so much respect for Toni and Mariah to put their bodies on the line for the final battle, and just the visual of Toni and Mariah lying on the mat full of glass shards everywhere with the bloodied up. It was just a special thing to watch. So congratulations to both women for this incredible ending to this very special storyline. This is something to be remembered throughout the history. I'm very satisfied. So that is it for this week's Women's Wrestling Weekly. Thank you again for joining in. Again, I'm so excited to celebrate WrestleMania with you guys with DIVAMANIA. Get ready for the announcements. We will be revealing special guests very soon. And to follow me on social media, you can find me at DSN on Instagram and Ring the Belle DS on Twitter. And I'll see you next time. Bye!